time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. Guys, I'm so excited because as the week goes, I always say this, I feel like it goes at a decline as far as work. And sometimes that's not the case, but sometimes it is. And everything is always shifted around last minute. I was supposed to do So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey today, but now I'm doing that tomorrow. And today we're going live on NBC with Derek Sagami at 1:30. So we have a lot happening. Of course, don't forget, Jason is back for a second episode of his Anchor Watch tonight at 11 p.m. It's a late night show with his comedian friend, Josh, who you might know as See Josh Go. And then they have a special guest tonight, Jolene Lunzer. Next week is Kempire and so on and so forth. I'm so excited. But obviously, we're back to talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way. It's a subscribers-only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. That way you can engage in the chat. Don't forget to smash that like button. And let's welcome Jason. Hey.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, that was a monologue.
Yeah, you don't have to do my monologue too, but thank you.
Oh, of course. That's what I'm here for. 90 Day Fiance, I thought sometimes I feel like it's going to be really boring. And you and I, out of all of our shows, I think we can both agree it's the one that we don't like to watch the most. But this week, it wasn't a bad episode.
I mean, it hasn't been a bad episode in or bad episodes because I've really enjoyed watching Jenny in India with Sumit's mom. Usually, I have to say, I really don't enjoy 90 Day Fiance. I didn't enjoy the last 90 Day Fiance. The other way, I'm kind of like up and down with. They gave us a good episode last week. This was an okay episode, and I don't know.
Okay. So since you're talking about Jenny and Sumit, guys, we already have over 50 people in the room in the first 2 minutes. That's great for 90 Day. So go ahead, smash that like button, and let's start with Jenny and Sumit because this poor woman is going through it. I don't know what other way to say it. But this woman, okay, so the quote from yesterday from 90 Day that I have to talk about is, I have 3, 4, 5 cases of diarrhea. I handle all my work, Jenny's mother-in-law says. Well, almost mother-in-law. Sumit's parents want Jenny to get out of bed. They want her to engage. And they said, we came here to teach you how to be a traditional Indian wife. What the hell are you doing? Well, apparently the curry got to her stomach and she can't get out of bed, even though she doesn't look sick at all. His parents are adamant about making sure she gets up and gets out because they didn't show up for no reason.
You said the curry got to her stomach. Oh my God.
I mean, maybe it did. Honestly, Thai food used to mess up my stomach. And if you're not used to it, which she should be used to it by now, maybe it did mess up her stomach. Also, to be fair, there's some shady ass people out there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sumit's mom would try to get Jenny sick in the first place because she doesn't like Jenny. You never know. You never know. I'm not saying
that's some housewives shit right there.
Yeah, that is some housewives shit. I'm not saying Sumit's mom is shady, but she obviously is not the biggest Jenny fan. I think that's fair.
Well, like I said last week, I feel like Jenny has two choices. She met Sumit being lied to. Okay, A. B, this has been going on for a decade now? Yes. He lost his passport or someone else had his passport, but look how easy it was to go get a new one. I feel like Sumit is still playing games. Now, Jenny has the option to leave.
Right.
Okay, so that's why I don't feel bad for Jenny anymore because she's at this point. It's at that point where you make a decision or you what is it? Shit or get off the pot. Really.
I was just about to say that.
Legit.
Yes.
Legitimately, this is what Jenny's going through right now.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But you know what? I feel like the parents, as backwards as they are on some things, and they have a feeling of almost embarrassment because they don't want to see Jenny and Sumit walk around and have people point out that she's way older than Sumit. And so I feel like his mom is trying to do the best. I mean, okay, listen, she's trying to do the best she can to make Jenny adapt to Indian culture as an Indian wife.
Right.
I think she is trying to do her best to show Jenny, but at the same time, I think she thinks Jenny is just kind of freaking lazy.
And to be fair, the kitchen wasn't the cleanest and there were certain things, but his parents, again, are like, we came here on a mission. She needs to get out of bed. And Sumit walking around like a puppy dog, doing everything his parents say. I'm like, oh gosh. Okay. So they take precedence, but this could be a cultural thing. They eventually get her out of bed. And she said, I'm going to take a bath and then maybe that'll make me feel better. After the bath, the mom wants to know, how long are we going to have to wait for this woman? And then finally, they get her to come outside for some yoga, which, by the way, Sumit's parents were damn impressive when it came to the yoga because they were doing shit that I couldn't even do. But one thing I cannot co-sign on, and I'm happy that we didn't have to witness Jenny do, is sticking the thread down your nose, through your mouth.
Wow, it was like a straw almost.
It's
right?
almost
What
like
was that?
flossing in order to get your sinuses right and make sure that you can breathe good and get all of the toxins out. Jenny said, absolutely, hell no, I'm not doing that. And when they were, she was like gagging on this straw and like fake vomiting. And then there's snot coming from out of her nose, out of her mouth, and she's spitting it up on the deck. And Jenny was like, no, ma'am, no. And I draw
they have sinus rinses you can use. I don't know if you have to go through that much.
Jason, I just have to say, because a lot of people don't know this, and if you guys do, well, go ahead and smash that like button. But when we went to Thailand, our first night, we were greeted, and it was so amazing. They welcomed us with, we were sitting at this kind of picnic table type situation on the river, and they caught this big ass fish where they slapped the big fish on our table after they cooked it, and it still had the eyes in it. They told us as a welcoming to Thailand, we had to eat the eyes because it was important to their culture. Jason makes me look like an asshole because he just stabs it in the eye with the fork. And I was like, guys, I grew up on fish sticks, chicken nuggets, and pizza. I cannot eat those eyes. I apologize. And they said, Adam, it's so rude. If you don't eat it, it's so rude. And we already think Americans are rude anyways. I was like, okay, well, great. I'm not going to win this. You think I'm rude anyways. I cannot eat the fish eye. I love you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me to Thailand. Shit's not going to happen. I am sorry. So I draw the line too. I don't blame Jenny for doing this.
And no, I mean, I'm sure it does have its benefits. There are other things also that have benefits that you can clean your sinuses. So
yes, like a sinus rinse, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, when it comes to Jenny and Sumit, I don't know how this is going to continue to play out, but Sumit's mom has this look of mischievousness. When she looks at Jenny, she's just kind of smirking and smiling. She loves when Jenny gets a little passionate and excited. She loves when she sees that Jenny's getting a little pissed off. And Sumit, again, this man has no backbone. I am not trying to be disrespectful, but you brought this woman here. You catfished her. At the end of the day, she is a whole grown-ass woman. She could do whatever she wants. She does not have to stay in India, but she chooses to do so. And now I feel like Sumit keeps on changing what he wants out of this. He's like, I don't want to get married, but I do want to live with my parents. I want my parents to live with us. I want us to live together. And then a fan pointed out the other day on, I think it was on Twitter, they're like, wait a minute, Sumit's brother and his wife, they don't live with the family. And I was like, oh shit, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So Sumit, what are you doing? Because you're the oldest and your brother is younger. So if he's not living with the family, why do you need to live with the family? Even though we know that the families sometimes live together. I don't blame Jenny for not wanting to live with your parents.
I don't either. I mean, again, though, you're at this point, like Sumit keeps changing things on her, and for her to, I just think it's, it's time to, like I said, shit or get off the pot. At this point, I don't want to hear any more complaints for Jenny because she is in control now.
Okay. Well, Kempire said they did live with the family for a period of time. Yes, I agree with that. And then Chic Advent said, I know the storylines are fake, still entertaining. Okay. Murray.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything real about TLC, except I really do enjoy watching Kenny and Armando. I think that's great. This is the most
Let's go to them
real.
next then. Let's go to them next. Because I want to talk about them too. Guys, we already have 110 people in the room. That's great for 90 Day. Go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and let's talk about Kenny and Armando. Okay, so Kenny and Armando, they're trying to figure out this whole way that they're going to get married, and poor Kenny has one request. Jason, do you remember the request?
Yes, he wants to do his vows at sunset. And my thing about Kenny and Armando, though, is their battles are very small. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they keep asking each other things
that are
minor. Right. And, compromise. There has to be some compromise. But I have proved that so far.
I agree, but I like Armando. I feel like his compromise is a little bit lacking compared to Kenneth's compromise. Kenneth uprooted his whole life and decided to come to Mexico. He is excited about this wedding. He just wants to make sure that he has a sunset wedding. And then the two guys who are throwing this wedding for them, which, mind you, I'm a stickler. If I'm paying you, which I don't like paying anybody anything to begin with because I'm frugal as hell. So if I'm paying you, you better be like the best and I better get my money's worth or else I'm going to be pissed. That's just me. And when it comes to
very Adam.
Yes, that's very me.
For anyone wondering.
Diana said, nope, can't do it. And someone else said fake storyline. Armando came off as selfish. Okay. Kenny and Armando are the only ones with a real storyline. Thank you, Barbara. No, but when they're talking to the wedding planners and they're talking about this reception after, he said, why can't we just go into the reception? What's the problem? We can have a later wedding time and then a shorter reception. Sometimes where I'm from, receptions are 2 to 3 hours. They said, no, sometimes cocktail hours are just 6 hours, let alone the reception. Welcome to Mexico. This is where they could easily have the compromise because at first I was thinking,
I mean, I already see a compromise.
I already see a compromise too. At first I was thinking, oh, they can't have a compromise because they can't have the venue that late. That wasn't the case. Push back the wedding. You don't need a 6-hour reception. I wouldn't even make it through a 3-hour reception.
You can do something before the wedding. I mean, every wedding I've gone to has had a very long cocktail hour. And then you don't need the after part of the reception. You don't need that to run on to. Who wants a whole bunch of drunk people after like 5 hours? I'm like done. Like I would be way done.
I don't know how it works with gay weddings, which is kind of ironic, but we know that the husband and the wife.
As real weddings, you just get to choose what you want to do.
Right. Well, husband, normally the husband and the wife like taps on the husband's shoulder and he sees her for the first time in her wedding dress. And then they take photos and yada, yada. But I'm guessing they could get the photos out of the way. They could greet everyone. They're both probably going to be wearing tuxes. So greet everybody, have a good time, take your photos, let everybody get situated, organize some sort of cocktail hour, have the later wedding where you get the sunset backdrop, and then have a 3 or 4 hour reception. It's not that big of a deal. I understand this is how it works in Mexico, but this is not compromised on Armando's side. And that's the one part I'm not liking here.
They are fighting time though, with the pandemic and the curfew and everything.
Okay. But no, they're not because they're having a reception that's 6 hours. They're not fighting any time. They're fighting what Kenny wants as opposed to what Armando wants. And this is where I was going with this. Had those have been my wedding planners, they wouldn't be laughing in my face like, ha, ha, ha. Yes, sorry, the reception is so long, you can't have the wedding
They did seem like not really able to. I feel like the wedding planners had like some idea already of what they wanted to do, and that's how it's going to kind of be. And Armando was very quick to like jump on the same page, and I get that because there wasn't really any kind of like Armando wasn't questioning anything or being like, no, we really want this. So I understand that. But at the same time, working within the parameters that they were given, I feel like the sunset thing it'd be hard to do unless you just rearrange it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Right. No, Lisa H said Armando has a stake in his family business, so he has money. I didn't know that. And when with
stake in what? I didn't see that.
Oh, sorry. Armando has a stake in his family business, so he has money. And then D. Dot said Armando is so sweet. Yes, he is sweet, but not good with compromise, as we can see. One Whisper said they have to add some drama to the script. Okay, I get that, guys, but this is not.
But you see what happens when they try to add drama? They have to fake it, So then we're dealing with
how fake it is if we don't get the actual
Jenny and Sumit and Ariela and Biniyam, and
One thing I'm glad about though is looking at the previews for next week's episode, we see where Kenny finally gets to go home, return to the United States, and spend time with his family. I'm excited for that because he misses his grandchild, and that is good compromise considering Mexico and the United States. We are back to back. It would not cost that much for a flight. And it would not be that far of a flight. I'm happy he gets to see his family, especially when you're feeling homesick. It's hard to enjoy and be in the moment. I know this firsthand. I signed up to go live in Thailand for months. After the first 2 weeks, I was a pain in the ass. Jason can co-sign that. Okay. All right. 140 in the room, guys. We appreciate the hell out of you. It's a subscribers only live chat. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that like button. I want to move on to our next couple. Okay, this is a couple that everyone loves, everyone's rooting for, and I am too, because we can tell this is probably the only couple that really gets along.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Was that a stretch?
This now feels very storyline to me because I mean.
Give it to me, Jason. You mean what?
I just they couldn't stand each other, but especially she could not stand him.
She
Evelin
can.
cannot stand Corey, and
Okay.
I don't know. It just seems weird that she's coming back around now, but they've actually done the work, and she feels bad about him having to leave, and I don't know.
No, I don't think
they've
they've done
kind
the
of
work at
enough.
all. I think that this is another relationship, and I'm not trying to be hard on anyone.
Well, I mean, they've done a small amount of work, and she's already turning around. So, like, if you're gonna stay together, do the full, like you said, do the full work. And
No, but this is her being weak in this case, because you're falling for this guy who's grinning at you like, don't you miss when I make you burgers, and can't we compromise? And she's like, fine, you don't need to live with your friend. You can move in. You have to pay half the rent, and we can start with movie nights. And you can tell, and she even said it in her interview where she's like, I am so in love with this man. This man, I do miss him. I want to be with him. At the end of the day, though, how much hurt can a couple go through? Can a relationship go through?
It's toxic. They love to fight, so they love to hurt each other, go through the fighting process, make up. They'll probably do it again. So I don't know.
I wouldn't wish this relationship on anyone.
No.
Murray is right. She does not love him. Alabama Camper said she wants to be on television. And then Krista Marie said, call in link or not. If not, I'll get my nerves up to try for hot, messy topics. Guys, we probably won't be doing callers today for this, but we will be taking callers tonight on hot, messy topics. We will be rotating the panel more. Don't worry. Every single person who calls in tonight will be brought up. I just want to make that known. We do have a lot of great topics, and I'm going to limit the time we have everybody on until the end, and then we'll bring up everybody at the same time. That way everyone gets a chance. Just make sure that your mics and your camera, they're good, because if they're staticky or echoey, they have to drop you down.
For hot, messy topics. Let's explain that at the hot, messy topics.
Yeah. Hey, you don't tell me what to do around here.
We don't need to talk about that right now.
Oh, okay. But no, when it comes to Corey and Evelin, they're trying to work through their relationship. It looks like, okay, she's caving in a little bit. She's going to forgive him. And I think the premise of forgiving him is because she knew about Ginny in the first place. Her name was Ginny, right?
Right.
Yeah, she knew about Ginny in the first place. And she said, listen, I knew. I just wanted you to be honest with me about it, and you lied. I already knew about it. So I think that's how she's so easily forgiving, because it's not like she was blindsided with this information. He just pretty much confirmed what she already knew. That's why she's able to move forward. Doesn't make it better, but I'm done with Corey and Evelin.
I've been done with them since like the second episode of this season. I feel like they're, I don't know, just toxic. It's toxic to watch.
Exhausting. They're exhausting. They're exhausting. Okay. All right. Well, we have 150 in the room, and I don't want to just leave them all with Corey and Evelin. I want to talk about this next relationship. This does not look like one that would last based off of the TV show, based off of what we're watching, but they do. Ariela and Biniyam. Ariela is still in the United States, and she is trying to get that procedure for baby Avi, which she ends up doing. Her mom drives her to the hospital, and the procedure only takes an hour. Once she gets back, her sister is still on her case, and her sister is like, Ari, don't you know we have the best medical here? Why don't you just bring Avi here? Isn't it so nice that you could just bring him to the hospital if you have a medical emergency? How long are you going to continue to play this, I want to live in Ethiopia? And I think it's incredibly disrespectful. I really do. The sister,
I find her sister so annoying. I don't know why. Every time she opens her mouth, show me what you have going on in your life first, so that you can coach your sister on what to do. She's just very what is the word?
It sounds ignorant.
Ignorant, but
what is the word, Jason?
I don't know.
What is the word?
I don't know. I've only had coffee. You're keeping me busy this morning.
Okay. Well, Ariela does get on a call with Avi with Biniyam, and she's telling him, I caught your ass red-handed. His sister Wish, and I know Jason didn't catch this last part of the episode, so I'll just bring Jason up to speed. And if you guys know, you guys can go ahead and comment on this. What is the word, Jason?
What is the word?
Jason doesn't have a D in his name. Campire.
You know how you I know, but it's right next to the S. Everyone does that. But
kidding.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So.
Okay, fill me in.
Biniyam's sister Wish ended up contacting Ariela while she is in the United States and said, listen, you should probably check his messages. You should find out what's going on because there have been some women staying in your house while you've been gone. So Biniyam was caught with a text message in his iMessages, which, mind you, if you have a computer, if you have an Apple computer, like Jason and I, our accounts are linked. So if Jason wants to check my messages, if I want to check his messages, we don't do that to each other, but we could.
I mean, technically you can't, but...
Oh, well, I mean, yes, I can go through your messages.
I mean, we're connected, but yeah, I mean, you know my password. I don't care.
Okay. Well, the point is she went through the messages and found a message from some woman at the club saying, hey, it was nice meeting you the other night. When are we going to get together? Yada, yada. And this is after his sister Wish told her there have been women in your house. Now, Wish is not the only person who's contacting Ariela. Apparently, it's her housekeeper. It's his sister. It's their mutual friends. And he packed up the pack and play and all of Avi's belongings and hid them from the room. When she asked him, go around the room, you know, I just want to see what the house looks like, whatever. She found out that none of the child's belongings are around. And he chalked it up as, oh, well, it's so painful for me to see. Not wearing this ring.
So full of shit.
None of
they're both full of shit, but he's really, really full of shit because it's always poor me. And then right when Ariela leaves, it's like Ariela, whatever. Her mom, how do you say her name? Ariela?
Yeah.
Ariela. So Ariela's mom, you know, was saying that she sees her and Biniyam building different lives in Ethiopia. And I can understand her mom's concerns because this is happening. Every time Ariela is trying to get in touch with Biniyam, she can't.
Right.
You know, and I understand her being maybe selfish to come all the way back to the States to have this surgery. But also, you know, we talked about this too with your parents in the medical field. Maybe they have, someone who knows what they're doing in this specific, you know, surgery.
No, but
to leave, to go ahead and pack everything away like it doesn't exist, that's shitty.
Bizarre, yeah. And to be fair, like we talked about this too, and you guys can go ahead and chime in, show some love and hit that like button. Thank you, Alabama Camper. His sisters are a freaking nightmare. Yes. And Florida gray-haired lady said, Wish hates Ari. That's even more telling because she doesn't like Ari. So why is she telling her this information?
Well, that's also something that came in, you know, into mind because their interaction was very strange when they went to that spa before Ariela left. And I'm wondering if she's just saying that to create or provoke a fight between Ariela and Biniyam, because that's something I also did think about.
Well, Nicole M said she knew that she didn't want to go back, but him having people in the house is such a big deal. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, Jason 100%. And I have talked about this. Both of us sometimes will have to leave. Jason has to go visit his family in DC. I've had to go to LA for doctor's appointments. We've had to go do other things. But if Jason leaves, if I leave, it's okay. If I want to have friends over, if I want to go hang out with friends, vice versa, that's fine. But there's open communication. You know where I'm at. My phone is not off for hours. And then I'm going to be like, oh, you know what? It's crazy. You're gone. I don't have contact with you. And I'm so sad. So instead, I needed to go to the gay bar because I am so sad.
And just bring home people. But before I did, I packed all your photos away.
Yes.
And everything that made me look like I was in a relationship or made me look like I had a family or a child.
Let me take off my engagement ring, then go to the bar because that makes more sense. And then that'll make me feel better. I can't
think about you being away, so I have to take this off. Yeah, it is. It's bullshit.
That's bullshit. I'm not buying any of what he's saying. And she does tell him, listen, she gives him an ultimatum because even her mom is in her ear. Like you said, her mom feels like they're building two totally different lives. And she says in this ultimatum, she's like, I am either going to come back. We are going to pack up all of our shit and move to Kenya where you don't have the influence of your friends. Okay. And we're going to start off that way. Or we are going to figure out a co-parenting situation and a custody situation where you get to see Avi, I get to see Avi, and I will continue to stay in the United States. I won't keep him from you, but it's one or the other. Which one do you want? Because based off your actions right now, it does not look like you want to be in a relationship. I don't disagree.
I don't disagree either. I mean, ever since we met Biniyam, I've thought he was kind of a man-child. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, Deborah Cartier, I want to say Cartier, actually. But you don't leave for 2 months. I'm Team Binny. Well, from what we're hearing, she left for the 2 months because they didn't actually know when the surgery was going to be planned. And the doctor had to do a consultation on baby Avi before they could plan the surgery. And mind you, we're still in COVID. So that's the details we have.
Yes, we're still in COVID, but also at the same time, like the baby's health is the most important. And I think that's what Ariela and Biniyam are both missing, is like the welfare of the baby, and the focus doesn't seem to be on the baby. So
yeah,
well,
Murray said, don't forget to smash that like button, please. Love you guys, Adam, Jason, and everyone in the chat. Thank you, Murray. I appreciate you. The Harsh Reality by yours truly, Krista Marie, said this happened when she was there. Absolutely, I agree that she needs to go back there after this, or he needs to come there. But I need to move to a different country because the way her family treated her. Okay, you mean his family treated her. Spoiler alert, they are still together and living here. Haha. Yes, they are still together. We've seen them. Biniyam had a boxing match, and we've seen them in New York. And with Angela Deem, we know Angela and Michael because sometimes you guys get on Angela for screaming the way she does, but okay. Sheik Avent said, why didn't she research before she moved out of the U.S.? I don't think this is about researching. She doesn't mind Ethiopia. I think she really likes Ethiopia. I think she just doesn't like his actions. And unfortunately, he has a shady past. But Ariela is having a hard time winning over the viewers because she brought her ex-husband into the situation.
Yeah.
And gave us PBGB vibes, like gave us creep. What are you doing vibes?
So weird to do that. And I don't know what her point of doing that was, to like, kind of poke at him. I do understand that when it comes to the baby though, because you guys got to remember, this is a young baby. Freshly born baby. Okay. They need all the health and care in the world. And if, I'm putting myself in her shoes, if I am, let's say, because I've had surgeries in 4 different countries. Okay. 4 different surgeries in 4 different countries. Thank goodness I had a company to take care of and help me through all of that. But if your parents are in the medical field at home and you're not sure how really anything or the structure of the healthcare system works in Ethiopia, if Biniyam isn't really supporting that to help you understand that, yeah, I'd be like, let me just go talk to my parents and I'll be back. I could understand her point of view too if I put myself in her shoes.
And we also have a friend who's close to us whose dad is a doctor, and she instead of going to the doctor, she goes straight to her dad for medical attention and having that conversation. So I think it's true when you know that you have that person who's so easily accessible, as opposed to going to a hospital, why not ask for their medical opinion or advice? Because that's their realm, that's their industry. So it does.
You got to realize too, free healthcare is great, but also good healthcare is hard to find.
Val Porter said,
in any country, even here.
Ariela bringing over her ex was the kiss of death. I mean, could be. It could be. Sheik Avent said this is a good chat, and Kempire said, "Oh wow, 4 surgeries in different countries."
Yeah.
Jason's a something over here. All right, so Ariela does give him the decision to make, and we will see. And she does say, or I will not return to Ethiopia. I am going to stay in the United States. He's pissed off. Why are you doing this? She's saying, well, why are you lying to me? And we'll have to wait and see how the rest of this plays out. But like Kempire said, unfortunately, we all already know, and it's not unfortunate that they are.
That is the problem with TLC. And this is
the problem,
because the problem is we get all of these created storylines and then we see them out, or like, what's her name? Who was with the guy from Washington? What was her name? Really pretty face, blonde hair, Russian, Ukrainian.
Natalie?
Remember the guy? Natalie. Natalie was just like down here. Remember, like 3 months ago or something? We all know what's going on. And at this point, it's like,
it's hard to.
What do you talk about anymore when you can just, at this point, you don't even need to watch the show, when you can just scroll through Instagram and see what the hell's going on. And this is where TLC kind of falls short. When you have a story that's a little more authentic and genuine, and this is also my problem with Bravo, but when you have a story that's more authentic and genuine, like Kenny and Armando, you actually want to follow it, regardless of where they are now. You know what I mean? So
that's probably one of the concerns too, since I know this is a little bit of a crossover, but Real Housewives of New Jersey stopped filming back in June, and then they got pushed back their time slot to bring in OC for December when it was supposed to be Jersey. And now a lot of fans are like, no, fuck no. We're not going to care about season 12 of New Jersey because that's going to be old by the time you show it to us, because now we know if they're talking about engagement or whatever, Teresa and Louis, we know they're engaged. If they're talking about moving, we know they already moved. We know what's going on, so it's not as interesting for us. And that is something that these networks have to take into consideration. The turnaround time needs to be a little bit faster. I think that's
I think so. I think so too. And then their very constructed storylines also fall apart really quickly when that happens. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next couple. Guys, 230 in the room. Smash that like button. Let's get to 250. And we're going to talk about Jason's favorite.
Oh, gosh.
Steven.
Oh, God. I think that's Kempire's favorite. Is he still in the chat?
Yes, Kempire is still in the chat. Kempire loves Steven with the V. Well, Steven decided to propose even though he's in some shit on of his own. Steven actually deleted his social media accounts. Alina got her way. She made him delete everything, and he agreed to do it. After agreeing to do it, he is having this conversation with this really nice Turkish man. The Turkish man seems like he doesn't know anything that Steven's talking about. Steven's going on this rant, rents this boat, gets a piano keyboard on top of the boat, and decides that he wants to propose to Alina. Well, he proposes to Alina, and when he does, she ends up saying yes. But when it comes down to this relationship, I'm not sold. And we just got wind that Alina was in Greece. I believe she was in Mykonos without Steven there, and we've been following them a little bit back and forth.
She's having a good time. Like, get away from me. Let me go have a glass of wine in Mykonos. Yeah.
And he tried surprising her, and he took her out for ice cream, and he had this beautifully decorated Book of Mormon with a note in the back of it talking about how she is his moonlight and how, what a moonlight means to him. And she's literally crumbling because you can tell she's a hopeless romantic. She's reading the words, she's crying, and she's so happy. And I'm thinking, don't let this guy bamboozle you. What do you mean? He just admitted that he
reminds me of like a really, I don't even want to say like a missionary because he was one, but of a really like dirty like car salesman. Like, I'm going to go grab these flowers and be like, here, honey, look, they're so pretty like you. And like all this like weird shit he does. It's just like, it's like gross. Like, how did you fall in love with this guy? A. B, I'm going to give props to Steven for being creative. At least he's giving us a creative proposal and trying to impress her with that. But at the same time, if it is so important, if you really love somebody and they ask you, hey, look, you effed up a lot on social media, like a lot. I caught you. My friend messaged you. Well, she messaged me. Okay, that doesn't mean you have a conversation. You know what I mean? And for him to also want to or offer himself to go over to friends' houses, do you want me to come over tonight? I think that was one of the texts to one of the girls. And he's claiming that that's just a friend. It just does look fishy. But when you F up that much on something and your partner, whoever you love or want to be with or whatever, ask you to drop it, don't do it anymore. Just don't even ask questions. Just do it.
And I want to say this too, when it comes to Steven and Alina's relationship, when she's going through the DMs and reading the messages, and it's this girl saying, do you want to stay the night tonight? And he's like, can I come over? And they're talking about spending time. He's like, well, that's my friend. I want to keep in contact with her. And she's like, are you kidding me right now? And he's like, it's just social media. The point is your ass has been busted now on social media. And to be fair, I think Kempire can attest to this. Jason can attest to this. I can attest to this. When you, especially being here just on YouTube, not even being on 90 Day Fiance, you get a lot of people who DM you, it's in your message request, and people say some ridiculous stuff. I get some nasty comments where people are like trying to be flirtatious or hit on you. And I'm like, great, block, delete, goodbye. I don't even engage in them because that's not what I'm not looking for that. So Steven should do the same thing. Just because you're like, I'm trying to be nice.
It's like he doesn't have... It's not all in the pot. He's not putting everything out there. He keeps like kind of 1 foot outside just in case. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not how you go into a relationship, always having the safety net or the B plan. You have to go in fully committed. And that's what makes great relationships so good. And also if you plan on getting engaged, then you really need to go all in.
Right. Right. Chic Advent said, you just seen him texting some girl. If he can come over that night, hell to the nah. Liz Silk said, Alina is a sweetheart, but this is her first relationship and she doesn't yet know love. And then D. Dot said, he acts like a predator in training. Wow. Okay. Diana said 235 watching, only 101 likes. Thank you so much.
Predatory tendencies for sure.
And Lauren B said, Adam's screen looks a little blurry today. Does it?
Not from here, but I don't know. It could
Okay.
be the internet. It could be someone else's internet. It could be whatever.
I'll work on that just in case. And also, we are getting new technology because I am sick of this 2013 MacBook. Okay? 15. 14. At this point, who gives a shit? All right.
I feel like we beat that computer to the ground.
We have beat this computer to the ground, so it is time to move onward and upward. But for Steven and Alina, they are doing the same thing. She said yes to the engagement. She is ready to get married, and we're going to see her asking him, are you ready to get married, in the preview? Well, next episode. Okay. My last couple that I want to bring up really quick would be Ellie and Victor. And since I couldn't get a photo that would upload of both of them, I'm going to use this photo because we have Ellie over here to the right, and she is still in Colombia. Okay. In Colombia, she's trying to figure out what to do, how to get this place back together after the hurricane hit. And she is admitting, you know, this is not what I figured I was signing up for. I didn't think I was coming here to do all of this damage control and help repair this you know, whole island that got destroyed. But
would it have been different if he didn't cheat and have an affair?
I don't know, because my point is I'm looking at it from two different sides. Like, if I really love someone and I want to be there for them, and unfortunately their island was just hit by a hurricane, I'm gonna stick myself right in there. I'm going to muck it. I'm going to figure out how to do repairs, or at least come up with a solution where I can go somewhere with him or her and figure out how to get things repaired, but where we can still stay together. I don't think that's necessarily the problem. I think the problem is the way he's talking to her. But mind you, he's under a lot of stress. The house is destroyed. The island's destroyed. She's picking up things, like doing these tedious little things that to him don't matter, like trying to wash clothes. And he's like, throw them away. I'll get new clothes. And she's like, oh, you got money like that? I didn't realize you have clothes just laying around. They're having these stupid little fights over something that seems like a much bigger issue. And I agree with you, Jason. This is where I was going to go. I think this stems back to the infidelity and the not trusting whether or not he's using her for money. I think that will always live in the back of her mind, because unfortunately,
and she said it herself. And I think when she said it herself, it kind of became more of a reality for her,
right.
At least, you know, from the show or what we've seen of the show. But, you know, this is someone who's lost a lot of people in her life. And I think something she was very excited to go into. But then when you lose that trust, and then when you try to bring it up, even after such a tragedy as the hurricane, and you're trying to talk about this and have a conversation about it, and it's so easily brushed off by the person who, you know, committed the crime, then I think she's frustrated, because
I think she's pissed.
I think you would have different goals, because now her goal is to see if they can even work out as a relationship. Her goal isn't, let's build this house back, let's, you know, work together, because she doesn't know what together looks like after her trust has been broken.
Right. I do want to bring this up. Mona said, hasn't she left him and been seen at her pizza place? She has been seen at her pizza place, but that doesn't mean that she's left him, because Armando has been seen in Tampa, and that doesn't mean that he left, or Kenny has been seen in Tampa, and doesn't mean he left Armando. Callie Real, this is Bad and Bougie, right?
No.
Oh, he cheated. Sorry about hurricane.
Is it? No, it's not. No.
I think she said that last night. I'm sorry about hurricane. Plus, she is funding before and after. Yes, Diana, follow Jason. First name, last name, Adam. This live is making my day, counting the hours until I clock out early today. Hey, thank you. Jasmine said, Ellie deserves happiness. I don't believe it's just the cheating. I think it's the money, his attitude, and his effort. He seems entitled.
Well, so you and I are kind of different. Nicole, this is what I was going to bring up too, are a little different with like money, because like, I feel like, okay, if there's something we want to splurge on, great. But if there's like, let's say like a tool, okay, there are a lot of tools. You don't need the most expensive one, but like he wants the most expensive one, you know, then it kind of, it's like you're not respecting that someone else is trying to help you or give you money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but also I feel like you and I have done a lot of compromise because I, again, go back to like a very frugal background. So I don't care if I have $10,000 in my bank account. If I'm going to go shopping for clothes, my idea is not, okay, I can spend 1,000. My idea is take me to TJ Maxx or H&M and I'm going to spend 200 and I'm going to get a whole new wardrobe to last me the rest of the year. Like I am that cheap. And you've taught me along the way, sometimes it's quality too. That way you can keep your things longer. And even though I get really bad anxiety, I have like, guys, you have no idea, anxiety like meltdowns when shopping. I will shop for 2 hours. I will have $200 worth of items and then I will leave the cart there because I'm just like racking the numbers up in my head. And then I'll go out in the car and have like a breakdown. So I'm like not the person to talk about.
I mean, there's certain things you do spend money on. Skincare is one of them. Okay. Because then like later you don't have to spend it on Botox. So okay. I just feel like, there are certain things you do spend money on. And, right now, where they are in their relationship, there really isn't a lot of compromise when it comes to that. And I do feel like she just feels like a bank.
Honestly, I agree. And who knows? Because obviously the biggest question hanging over everyone's head right now is, would she feel like that had she not have found out about the infidelity and had she not have put X amount of dollars into the home already before the devastation? I just saw another person say in the chat, and I don't know where it is, but thank you for commenting. What was she expecting? She was going into devastation after a hurricane wiped out the island. I get all of these things, but I have to also commend her for even showing up when all of this was going down, because I wouldn't have even continued the conversation once I found out. Once a woman contacted me and said, hey, listen, your man is calling me, his girlfriend, and he's asking me to buy him a motorcycle, and he told me that we're going to be together and have babies, I'd be like, you're done. This whole fucking thing is done. Call TLC and cancel the cameras. I'm going back to the pizza parlor because I don't give a shit. That would be Adam. Adam's version of Ellie right there.
Yeah, she gave up a lot.
I agree. All right, so that's all of the couples that we had to go over. Again, we will be back next week to talk more about 90 Day Fiance. I'm actually really surprised that we held 250 in the room for 90 days.
So am I. Now I feel like I need to pay more attention. The thing is like, I don't know what I'm excited for next week. What are you excited for based on like what you saw?
Well, we see that Ariela and Biniyam are going to we're going to see where they come back together eventually. I want to see Kenneth going back to Tampa and having some of the conversations with his family about being away in Mexico. I also want to see what's going on with Sumit's family, because we need to know, where is his mom at this very moment. I would love to get an interview with his mom because I just want to pick her brain. And I just want to see, what do we really feel about Jenny, even though I don't feel like we need that interview.
I don't know. I feel like she might be going easy on Jenny.
I think
on what I know about, just a little I know about that culture.
I think she is too. But also, I would never stick a straw / like little bungee cord silk piece of rope through my nose, down my throat, and just like floss. Like, it's not like you said, what if it hits your brain? I don't know what's up there. I don't know how this shit works. I will stick with like a saline solution and rinse out my nose. I'm not dogging on it or bagging on it, whatever. I just don't understand it. And I would be so afraid to stick something that far up my nose. That's where I'm coming from here. But we do have a few things to look forward to. So we will be back next week. Guys, don't forget, today we are doing Hot Messy Topics at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a subscribers-only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. We will do a better job today of rotating our callers. We're going to keep everyone on a limit of time. That way we can bring up every single caller. We will not miss one person tonight, I guarantee you. Just make sure that your camera and your audio works. That way it's still a pleasure for the viewers to watch and it's not giving us static, or else I'll have to drop you down. And then don't forget, tonight, Jason told me not to pitch for him. Tonight, Jason, what do we have going on?
We have Anchor Watch, because Below Deck is one of my favorite shows. So tonight we are recapping Below Deck. Anchor Watch is a late night kind of Below Deck talk at 11 p.m. With my friend Josh, who's also known as See Josh Go. Sorry, I'm echoing, I think.
No, you're not.
Okay. Well, on my side, I was sorry. See Josh Go. And tonight we have a special guest, Jolene Lunzer, joining us. I'm so excited to talk Below Deck with them.
And we love Jolene. And then next week it's Kempire. So it's going to be good. I don't know how Jason does these 11 o'clock lives. Last week I was like, kind of. But I also wake up so early. And then tonight I was thinking in my head, I can't wait. I get to go to bed while Jason does his live. But no, I don't. Because if you see Jason's backdrop right there, that would be Adam's said bed, which means Adam will be sleeping on the couch, engaging in the live chat with all of you. So I will be there. Guys, I can't wait to see you soon. I'm dropping a pre-record literally 2 minutes after this. Stick around. We're back to talk about Lala and Randall. We have news. And then we're dropping 2 other pre-records that we have. And then I'm sure if more news comes out, we'll be dropping that. Jason's making a Costco run, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to our super chats, super stickers, and thank you to everyone for watching.